Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Memory Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you an NFL Week 5 preview between the Houston Texans and the New York Jets. So let's look at some keys to victory for both teams, starting with the Texans.
When you look at the Texans defense, you instantly have to talk about J.J. Watt. This guy is leading the league with 7.5 sacks, tremendous force against the run as well. And they're going to need that type of effort this week versus the Jets. The Jets will run the football probably 70% of the time, trying to keep this game close. So you have to make sure you win on first down defensively. It gets these guys in second and long, third and long situations. Now, on the offensive side of the football, what can the Texans do against the Jets' pressure? Let's go inside the lab and find out.
The Texans do a great job of keeping their formations condensed, and it helps them in the running game and also throwing the football, especially when you utilize different bunch formations. And that's how we're going to utilize this formation to attack the Jets' coverage. I know Darrelle Reeves is out, but the Jets still may want to play some man coverage in certain situations. So you got to find the right matchup. And right now, the Texans have the matchup with the tight end on the strong safety. And this is how you want to attack him and get him in a situation where he's not going to be successful. So we got to call this 190 slant, which means we got all slants called, and this is going to be the quick out to the tight end. So let's show you how it's ran. Working its way slant. Guy right here on the interior pushing and settling down right there. This is important. This receiver is going to work out this way to work back into the slant. And we're going to bring this guy in motion. And at the snap of the ball, you want to snap it right on the outside shoulder of that tackle, and he, boom, shoots. So now this guy got to get over this trash to get here. And the reason why we had this guy bend out is because it's going to force his corner to widen out and then attack, thus taking him out of the play to get to this tight end. So it's all about formations, bunching it, forcing this guy to get through all this trash to hit this tight end. And we know how Owen Daniels does a great job after the catch.
Now let's look at the Jets in this ball game. Offensively, they got to find a way to put points on the board, to have long sustained drives, and they also can't shoot themselves in the foot. Whether it be Sanchez or Tebow, it doesn't change the fact that the Jets need to find some type of consistent playmaker on offense. It's going to have to be Jeremy Curl to step up and be that quote-unquote Santonio Holmes type of guy to make plays, take the short pass, take it the distance. Also, Jeff Cumberland, the tight end. Until Dustin Keller gets back, he's going to have to be the guy. They got to find a way to generate offense. But let's go inside the lab to see how they can stop the Houston Texans rushing attack.
In order for the New York Jets to stop the run of the Houston Texans, they got to get better fits in the run defense department. When we talk about fits, we're talking about like this. Here I have an eagle front drawn up, and I think this is how the Jets can be effective in playing the Houston Texans when they go double tight. You see we have the two tackles lined up in the gaps, because when the Texans, let's say they run outside zone, and they're going this way outside zone, this guy has to shoot this gap. The more penetration you get versus the outside running game, the outside zone, the more effective you are. That's why we also have these guys in the gap. So once you see this, and naturally, let's say the ball is going this way, he's going to have to flow to the football. This guy has to set the edge right there, meet the rubber to the road. Either he's going to take a chance and shoot the gap while you have your strong safety back here as the fill guy, and your guy is the scrape guy here. But I think if they get better fits versus the outside zone versus of the Houston Texans, they can have a chance, because they have some big bodies they can line up on the front lines. And I think that's how they're going to have to compete this week in order to stop the run, to get these guys in backdoor situations, so that way you can unleash the pass rush and help out your young corner. So this week, the Jets have to do a better job of getting better run fits against the Houston Texans.
X factor in this ball game for the Jets has to be Sean Green. They got to get the running game going. That's going to shrink the ball game and allow the Jets to operate off play action and get the passing game going. For the Texans, it's going to have to be punter Donnie Jones. Pin the Jets back deep, make them drive the length of the field, and you give yourself a chance to stay aggressive defensively. Now let's look at the personnel breakdown in this ball game. You see right now the Jets are struggling offensively. Defensively, they can compete, but they got to find some ways to put points on the board. This is a very tough Houston Texans ball club, but they got to find a way to generate some type of offense this week. I like the Texans in this ball game. Right now, Houston is playing on a different level. They're well balanced offensively. Defensively, they get after you for 60 minutes nonstop, and I like that about a football team. The Jets have to come in and find a way to generate offense. If they can't do that, this could be a long day for the New York Jets. And I want to give a shout out to all the Jet fan and Houston Texan fan forums for always showing football game plan support.